Hello, folks. AJ, the CEO here. Thank you so much for joining us. We come here every Friday to help try and answer your questions. And I'm just verifying sound real quick. Give me a second. All right. I can hear myself perfectly fine. I hope y'all are all doing well. Hey, we here again. We did something last week. I'm so out of it. I haven't done a media booth in like 3 weeks. I got like 4 of them. I'm just going to record all of them and get them done. We just been so busy with projects, folks. Not that that's a bad thing, but we just been super busy. Really excited about all that. Making up for it last week because I was having some daddy-daughter time last week. So we were supposed to have a roundtable Sunday. We are going to have one this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. My apologies again for the last-minute stuff, but when baby girl wants to play with with Daddy, and we're going to build Lego trains. That's what we're going to do. So to get all that information, if you're not a part of it, folks, go ahead and join the Facebook group. All you got to do is go to Facebook, go to Modern Media Ministry Made Easy, go to the link down below, or just look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy, answer the 3 questions, and you are good to go. Realize if I do not get to your question, you can email me, excuse me, at questions@ajhomes.com. Give me 48 to 72 hours to respond, folks. Please, even though I'm asking your questions, please do not inundate the messages after about like 4 to 5 emails. Go ahead and set up a consultation, folks, because that way I can have dedicated time to sit down with you, because I get a lot of stuff back and forth. So I want to answer your questions. Most of those emails are quick stuff, but if it's going back and forth, I highly recommend you to set up a consultation, which you can do if you go to ajhomes.com/consultations. We do phone, Zoom, on sites, we travel, we do all the stuff, folks. And I should have brought it up because I don't. Give me a half a second and I can get it prepared. We are really excited because we are close. We are close to our 60,000 subscriber giveaway, folks. I don't know if you saw the post recently, but we've been blessed by AVCans with a AI tracking camera to be added to this. So we're exactly 500 away. So I'm excited about that. That's what we're going to do. There's a link on my website, but this is going to be a $2,000 live streaming bundle. This is an A10 Mini Extreme PoE switch, I believe a joystick, the camera, AVCans. I'm going to do a review of it, but then that AI tracking one is going to go along with this bundle. And I think all the bells and whistles are there. Link is in the description, but this is the link as well, too, to get to it. And yeah, and if you go to the community tab, there's a QR code that you can scan. If you've already entered, you don't have to enter again. We're going to put everybody in a database, purge out for duplicates off of name, first name, last name, address, email address, similarities in email address, all that stuff. So please don't enter multiple times. If you really want to do it, have multiple people in your ministry join to enter, and then there's a better chance of you getting in there. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to start with this person because their name just happened to pop up here. Brian Jones, hey, I already said it to you, but happy belated birthday to you, sir. Hope you had a great one. Let's go ahead and holler here, Mr. G. Albert. Hey, good morning. Going into surgery and a few, my Mac is still under the weather, only with my iPad. If I'm feeling better, I'll get the OBS bundle installed and hope that still have time. All righty. Anthony, what's going on, folks? Dr. JMM, how you doing? Video streams. Hey, good morning. Bruce, good morning. Creator for Fun. Hello, hello. Darlington. Robert Darlington. Hello, hello. Good morning from Chicago. Good morning from Richmond, Virginia. We are on Facebook and YouTube, folks, so you can go either way. We're just working on doing what I think I'm going to do is probably in the future, not now, maybe next year, we're going to go into an hour and a half on YouTube, then transition to an hour and a half to Facebook, and then hopefully we'll have the subscribers by then to get on X we're already on X, but after a certain number of followers, they're going to unlock live streaming on there. So we're going to hit all the platforms. So we're going to make it a show. Credit TV. Hey, good morning. We're going to make our way back over there to you. Angelo, hello, hello. Good morning. Mr. Clarence, good morning. Monty, what's going on, sir? I need to talk to you, too. It was a camera that you did a review on, and I have one, too. I want to talk to you behind the scenes about it when I get a chance. Mitch Roy, hey, good morning. I'm verifying. Please let me know if my sound, I'm almost at the top, and I'm intentionally trying to talk louder as well, too, in here. Let me push it up just a little bit more, and I'm making sure I'm talking directly into the mic as well, too. Let's see what else we got out here. Parker, hello, hello. Danielle, hello. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Scott, what is going on? Richard, hello, hello. Let's see. Rhonda, hello. Girl, dad, Monty. Yes, exactly. Darius, hey, what's going on? JP, the it. Interesting name. Hello, hello. Keith, how you doing? P-Tams Media, hello. Got a bunch of folks from Kenya today. And Covenant Healing, hello, hello. I hope y'all are doing well. Now, let me go ahead and do this. I need to apologize as well. I did have some photos, but we've been running around, so I'm kind of was behind on some stuff, so we're going to catch up on that. So let's do a little bit of announcements before we get into this stuff. Folks, again, we're trying to turn this into more just a Q&A, but more than just that, something to be a highlight for y'all for the week. But I want to highlight y'all. So we want some information from you. We want to send your viewer stories. If there's something outstanding going on in your media ministry, we want to use this platform to share it. Just email me at info@ajhomes.com. Make it 2 minutes or less, no music, clear audio, and just send that to me, and we'll feature you on here because I want to expand this and do some other stuff. As you've noticed, if you were here last week, we've been adding and doing some new things here, which we're also going to do here in a little bit. Also, this is what I'm apologizing for. I had some people send me some team pictures. I didn't get a chance to put them up last week or this week because I've been running around. But we are going to highlight them next week. But I want to highlight your team as well, too. If you can email me at questions@ajhomes.com, make the subject my media team, and put a picture of your media team there and send it out there. And we want to highlight your team because a bunch of y'all are doing some outstanding work, and we want to use this platform to shout out your people. And just real quick, also in this one, make the subject in the viewer stories. That way I can know which one is which. All right. So really excited about some other stuff that's going to be coming up pretty soon. I'm going to wait to do this. We're going to be accepting calls again today. I'm going to wait a little bit of time before I flash the number. And I told y'all, don't use that last number from last week because that number is now gone. We got another number here, and this one is going to be a permanent one, so you can leave voicemails on this one in the future. Don't spam it. After a while, you will get blocked, and you do something silly, you just might be featured with your silly comment if somebody does something silly on here. So I'm going to wait a little bit, and I'll flash this number in a little bit, but let's go ahead and get some questions hollered at y'all. Let's see. Craddock TV wants to know from Ghana. Thank you so much. I'm assuming that says big fan. Can you help me with adding sound to my Zoom through OBS? If possible, I can get your personal number. It would be grateful. No, I do not give out a personal number, unfortunately, because the people who do abuse that. Not saying that you would do that, but people abuse it and call me in very inappropriate times. So the only number I would give out is business, and I only answer phone calls on business time. But we'll get back to your question here to try and help you out. So you're talking about how to add audio into your Zoom through OBS. So first, let's go ahead and open up OBS. And it's going to be a loop of a loop. But we have a video that talks specifically about this. And you said you want to add sound to my Zoom through OBS. So what we've done, let me bring this over here. The first thing we're going to do is we use the virtual audio cable. So if you're bringing everything in, like you see, I'm bringing in my stuff right now, and I'm not going to do this right. Well, let me turn this all the way down because it's going to be kind of crazy. Hopefully y'all don't get a feedback into this. So I'm bringing my audio in here. So as you see, hopefully y'all are not getting an echo. You shouldn't get. But see, my audio is coming in here from my system. So everything is here. You're seeing my audio going in. Now, what happens is using the virtual audio cable. If I get that real quick, that's the VB audio cable. We would install this, and we would, to send audio to Zoom, with all of this installed, we would go here into settings in our audio, and we would come down here to our monitoring device. we would do the VB audio cable. And I honestly have uninstalled that after a bunch of stuff, but we would use that. So for monitoring, it will always go out on the, actually, let me go ahead and just do it just as a refresher. So let me close this real quick. Let me open this back up. And again, this goes in detail with the video that we did. So let's download that, extract that. All right. And we're going to install 64-bit. Just install real quick. Access denied. Get out of here. Let's run as an administrator. All right, so that has been installed. So now let's go ahead and open up OBS again. Give it a half second. All right, so now we're bringing in audio. What we want to do is let's go back to settings. We're going to go to audio, and we're going to scroll down to advanced. And for our monitoring, now we want to use the input of the VB audio cable, the virtual audio cable. So now all audio is going to go there instead of my speakers or your speakers. So now for everything in OBS where you want the audio to go out, you would just pick, go to advanced, and we want to set this to also monitor and output. So now this audio is going to go to Zoom. So let me switch back over here real quick. I will open up Zoom, and I will start a new meeting. All right. So now let's cut back over here. Now with this going on, we're going to start our virtual camera. And now we're in Zoom. So we want to set our video to the virtual camera. Start that up. That's why it's going into infinity. I'm not going to keep that up for long. And then in our audio, we want to set our microphone to the output of the VB audio cable. So anything that goes into into OBS is what is now going to come here. So you see my audio is here, and that's working from here. So if I go here to pre-service and I set this one, you see no audio is coming through. If I set this, in which track is that? I think that's calm. I'll put this on output, and you see now the audio is coming in. So everything that's audio is going to the VB audio cable, which then goes to OBS. That's how you would do that, all right? So again, there's a detailed video on how I do that. That pretty much goes exactly what I just did. This was just the fast version of that. So I hope that answers your question. Let's go to page number 2. Let's see. And please, folks, start your stuff with a Q. That way it makes it easier for me to see where everything is. All right, I answered that one. Dr. JMM wants to know, how do you make your YouTube flyers and intros? Most of them are from a service that I have a yearly subscription with. Is Envato. I have a link in the description, affiliate link to them, but I've been using them for over 5 years. This is where I get all my stuff. So actually, this is the intro I was working on, but it is over 300 videos that I have to put in here. So this is going to look for the new intro coming soon. It's actually loop number 2. So I have all these videos that I have to loop, put in this template. And then when it comes out, it will end with the logo. So I get all my stuff from here. So that's what's going to be the new upcoming logo, but it was taking way too long for me to make it before this morning. So again, that's Envato Elements. They actually own other places like VideoHive. This is what I used to use for a long time, videohive.net. I recommend you go ahead and get an account here because every first of the month, they give out free stuff on all 7 of their websites. So right now you could get this 3D perfume bottle box, a business card graphic, a next newspaper web page template, emotional, motivational, inspiring cinematic music. That is your music that you can use that have a license. So if I play it, and am I muted? Oh, hold on. Let me stop this because I think my audio is not coming through the system. Give me a second. Yeah, it was going through the audio cable. All right, so if I play it now, why are you still not able to hear it? That is strange.
Audio jungle.
There it goes. So that you could get that for free, and it comes with a license that you can use. That's why I like coming here, because they have Video Hive, Audio Jungle, Theme Forest, Code Valley, Photo. I mean, they have a bunch. It's 7 different websites, and if you go here every month, they give out free stuff. So again, there's music, there's the intro, logo reveal, kind of like what I use. A template uses After Effects, and then you have some static stock footage as well too. So Envato Elements, you can download unlimited stuff from them for the whole year. So I have stock video, video templates, After Effects, Premiere, Apple Motion, Final Cut, DaVinci Resolve, music, sound effects, graphics, templates, presentations, photos, fonts. I mean, you got a bunch of stuff. For $190, it's a deal if you do a lot of creation. So that's where I use that from. So hopefully that helps you. And if you're interested, like I said, affiliate link is down below. It doesn't hurt y'all, but it helps fund this channel. All right, let's jump to our next one. Capo. What is the best way to display scripture on screen format-wise? Well, that all depends. I mean, what are you outputting to? Are you going to projector, TV? The main thing, I like to just do everything in full screen. So like right now, I have Pro Presenter up right now. So if I was going to bring up some scripture, let me search for something real quick. Good, I already had one up. So for me, I do this in a full screen format like this. This is how I show mine sometimes. And then, you know, you could do it in a lower third. So that would be like this. You could do it like this. And I'm doing both of these, supporting both of these at the same time. So I got it right here. Let me turn that off. And then full screen, it's like inside the sanctuary. But then if I'm here online, people can see it here, and you can still see me going on. But what are you talking about in format? Are you talking about this type of format or what? Let me know, and we will circle back and give a more detailed answer based off of your question. All right, I got that question already. All right, back to Craddock TV. Now y'all don't have to answer ask the question a couple times. I already see it. But you were also saying using the virtual audio, but the video sound is not clear on Zoom. But the mic. All right, so that's most likely tied into some issues with Zoom that they've changed. So let me show you that. Have a video on that as well too, and hopefully you've tried that. If I come back in here, they've made a bunch of changes. So inside of your audio settings here, first, I have mine. If you use the noise removal, that's probably what's causing the issue. Don't set it on auto, because it's going to act all crazy. I put mine on low or see, they've added something else. They had original sound for musicians, and they had live performance, personalized audio isolation. That's new. I personally leave mine in noise removal, but keep it low. And that helps with the distortion, and it doesn't cut out like crazy. Check that setting, and mainly it might be that it's on auto, but I would say check that first and see if that will improve what you got going on. Let's see. That's page 2. Page 1. Recommend an HDMI extender. I have 4 Sony Alphas. I'm going to use for a live stream, and the venue is big, so a 25-foot HDMI cable won't work. Need an HDMI extender. Well, you could use an extender, or you could use this. I just got this because I need to add this in the ceiling for Amazing Grace Word Fellowship. Hold on a second. These have been what I've been using. These are fiber optic HDMI cables. They can go up to 300 feet, and you don't have to worry about power. So pretty straightforward. They are one direction. So here's the source. So you would plug this other in with your adapter or whatever to your Sony. And then this is the display that goes to the ATEM. This is exactly what I use for the recent install and the recent installs I've used. Because that cable is around like $60, $75, depending on the distance. That's 100 feet. No, actually, that's 150 feet that I just held right there. That goes around like $75, $80. It depends on the day that you get a deal. That would probably be cheaper and don't have to worry about power with your extenders. If you did use extenders, I would say probably put the money in and get HD-based T extenders. They can go 500 feet over an Ethernet cable. That'll probably work as well too. Let's see. And Paige jumped here on me. And let me actually put a link to those. Again, I only recommend stuff that I have personally used myself. I actually have multiple ones, like the camera that's right over here uses that. The BZB gear behind me, that one is connected with a similar cable as well too. The one over here is connected as well. Do I have the AI off? Yeah. So, no, I don't. I have the AI on. That's why I can't move it. But anyway, I got this camera over here, has a cable on that, fiber optic HDMI as well too. So is the Famaco over there. All of them are using this same type of setup. So pretty decent. I've been using them here first, and I have tons of installs that I've used them, and I've had no issues with them at all. So I would probably recommend that more than anything. And I stand corrected. That was 100 foot, not 150 foot that I have. And that's right now is going for $59.98. That is what that is going for here on Amazon. And if I can find my YouTube, I will put it in here. Fiber optic, oh, wrong stuff. Fiber optic HDMI cable. I ain't gonna ruin it for y'all. I just finished watching the season finale of Loki season 2. Good Lord, it was a good one. It was a good one. All right, so there you go. Let's jump to our next one. Covenant Healing. Hey Jay, how does the window feature in display work? How does the window feature in display work? It just pops up another window. So let me minimize this and let me get over here back to my desktop so we can actually show you how that works. So let's go ahead and open up Presenter. Let's download this update. That's pretty small. Actually, hold on. Let me log in first, because most likely it's going to ask me to log in. So give me a half a second to do that. Alrighty. So if we go here to settings, now some of these don't work unless you have some of the higher versions of this. So you were asking about a display window. So like here, if I come in here and I already have one and I set that to a window and I do okay, then there's my window. So the idea is you could have something like this and capture just this window. So like if I bring up a slide or something like that and say I bring this up, So now I have it on my display on my other monitor over here. If you can see it's coming out right here. That's what you can see right now. But the window also has it. So I had this being captured, and I could send this over to OBS. So like if you were doing something like this, say that you don't have NDI or something. Well, actually, you wouldn't need to have NDI with it. But say you were doing all this on the same system. I wouldn't recommend it. But say you have it like this. We're going to go here to live, and I want to do a screen capture. Let's maximize this. And we'll do a window capture. I pick my window, which is that. And I'm going to do a Control F to fit the screen. And look, it's great, but you can't see nothing. So I can come in here, do a filter. We're going to do a color key. I'm going to pick a custom color. Pick. And look, there you go. So now that window can be used to move anything. So let me move my main window over here. And if I want to change scripture, now that's not using the DSK at all. That is just using that extra window to capture that you can keep minimized and do that in a different format if you want. Mine is always pushing it as a lower third. But again, this, you have to have the paid version of Presenter for that to work. This will not work on the free version. So I think, there you go. I think that was your question. So hopefully that helps you. Let me switch back over here. Let's close that. Jerry, again, if I didn't get you, good morning. Hope, good day from Jamaica. Need to get back down there. Mike from Canada, hey, how are you doing? De Silva Fernando, I am doing great. I hope you are doing great yourself. Man, you're gonna mess me up with this one. I don't want to pronounce your name wrong, but hello. And those are music group. Hello as well too. All right. I think enough time has gone by. Let's go ahead and introduce this one. So we're gonna be taking some calls if you want to call in, folks. So you act up, you don't be on your best church behavior, we're gonna have to cut you off. But this is the number. You can call in here. This is for live stream only. Don't think that you're going to get a call on this number and think you can get me on any other time. It ain't going to work. This one is for the live stream only. Alrighty. I guess I should move this over to my Unify call system. But anyway, I'll bring that number back up there. But that's the number you want to call in. We'll take some calls and answer your questions. But we'll bring that back as well. And I think, do I still have the graphic up? No, I don't. I changed it. Hold on. I'm going to have to make this adjustment live here because I changed numbers because I told you that number only stayed up for that day. Let me show you what I'm doing here. Do I still have it? Social media posts? No. Where did I put it? I'm not going to be able to do it right now, but we'll bring it back up so y'all can see it. Let's bring it up one more time. I need to make this as a lower third as well. And I'll put it, actually, why don't I just put it in the chat? Oh, and there's a call right there. Hold on one second. Hello, hello. Who am I talking to? Hello, can you hear me? Oh, well, hold on. I got you. Hold on one second. All right, can you hear me? They hung up. Try and call right again. I think when I installed the VB audio cable, it messed up my audio here. So we should be good. So the ring comes through. Y'all can hear the ring, and then the output comes out as well. So we're straight. The VB audio cable messed up a bunch of my settings. Let's try it again. Hello, hello. What in the world? Allow. It's not. All right, hold on. My browser is stopping me. Hey, call me right back. I need to fix the settings on my browser. Can you hear me? Yeah, call me right back. My browser is blocking the mic. All right. Always. Always. Why the settings? Give me one setting. Give me one setting. Give me a second to fix this. It's blocking my audio from y'all being able to hear. So I don't know. Continue allowing to use access. Yes, I want to allow access. Let me try one more time here. Again, my apologies, folks. I tested this all this morning, and now all of a sudden, it wants to act up on me. Click allow to use your microphone here. I did. My gosh. I do not like this. This is not fun. All right, we might have to hold off on this. I literally tested this right before we started, and now it's acting up on me. Allow settings. I did do that. Give me a half a second, folks. My apologies. On the left, go to calls. Yes. I'm allowing the web. Allow sound. What in the world? Settings, blah, 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 blah. All right. I don't know what happened. It did, Chrome did do an update right before I started, after I did my testing. I hope that didn't break what I was doing. All right. So I guess we're going to have to hold off on calls now. This stinks. Continue allowing to access to your mic. Yes, that's what I did. We're going to manage. We're going to set our audio to that. And we should be good. Let's try one more time. Again, I ain't mean for this. Well, I mean, this is a tech support call. I'm tech supporting myself in here. Let's try one more time. What? All right. Is it going to come through this time? It's still allowing access. Yeah, we ain't going to be able to do it. I don't know why it's blocking the call. So my apologies. We'll have to try this again. It was working just last week. I might have to move it to a different number or something like that. So my bad, folks. We'll have to try this again. But let's go back to the old-fashioned way. We'll just answer your questions that you do on here. Mike has a suggestion. If you want more control over your audio, you can use the audio monitor. That's the other one. Mike, I meant to say that as well, too. I haven't personally used it, but I remember you recommending that. So I think that is a good option as well, too. I'm sorry. I'm just really bothered that this is not working for me. My sound is not working for me. And I just was just using it. Let me close the browser and come back into it. Maybe that will work. But anyway, let's go to some more questions here. Sorry for the long question. I'm still having major issues with connect from AVCans to the ATEM and ProPresenter to talk. I have connection between the joystick and camera and ATEM, but it does not register the camera to show in ProPresenter. Okay, but how is ProPresenter? How do you have the? All right, hold on. So the joystick, you can see the camera through the ATEM. So the connection through HDMI is fine. Now, how are you connecting? Well, let me just show you. This is how I do the same thing here. So if I come back here to my desktop and I'm here in ProPresenter, so I have everything closed, so this should work. So if I clear this out, inside of ProPresenter, I can set a video input. My computer is connected to the ATEM over USB. This is how this will work. So if I come in here, do a video input connection, make a new one, I'm going to call this the ATEM, and I select it, set my resolution. See, now I have an input. It comes in that way. And why didn't it add? Oh, it's right there. So now if I come in here, it would show right there, but I'm not on the screen that shows it. So see, now I'm bringing in my video. That's how that works. So if you're getting it everywhere, the only thing I can assume is the main computer that is running ProPresenter isn't connected to your ATEM over a USB cable. Tell me if that is correct or wrong in my assumption. And then we can see what we can do from there. And I'm sorry, I'm just really bothered that I played around with this stuff at 7 in the morning and tested and didn't have any issues, and now all of a sudden it ain't working. That's bothering me. So ring and change your browser settings to allow. I just did that. Oh well, let's fire away. Brandon was wanting to know, what OBS plugins would you suggest for Sunday morning service? Well, I mean, it depends on what aspect of you're using. I like the simple approach as best as possible. Most of the plugins that I would use are maybe the animated lower third, so it's only for the live stream, and then the scripture one, the First Fruits Bible plugin, if you don't have any presentation software or you want to do it in a different format for the people on the live stream. And then if your computer's fast enough, the multiple RTMP, that way you don't have to pay for like Restream and any of the services to stream to multiple platforms. That's only if your computer and your upload speed is fast enough. Those are mainly the three that I use. Also, let me take that back. And I also add NDI. Those are the 4 plugins that I use, and I typically don't use anything more than that. With that being said, good segue. I actually got contacted by the people at OC for the Stream Deck Go. They have a new firmware that's going to support NDI functionality. I'm waiting for them to get that back to me. I'm going to test that, and I am so behind on the follow-up video to that because I've recorded it like 7 times and it never came out right. Audio or something was going on, so it made me feel like I don't need to make that video. But when we have that other update for the NDI, we will make that. So I need to figure out what in the world is going on with my browser here. I don't want to give out this other number, but I will if I have to. But anyway, let's go to our next one here. Scott. Sorry, hold on. I think I see camera allow, microphone allow. Why is it? I'm sorry, hold on. I'm deleting the settings so that I can at least try this again. Let's see if this will work. Could you help with a speaker placement adjustment in our sanctuary? We have areas that are louder. Not sure if we need to adjust where the speakers are pointing or if you need different speakers. Scott, can you email me a picture and I can see where your placement is? Just do that at questions@ajhomes.com, and then I can look at that and bring that up so I can see exactly what you're talking about. Now I'll bring up Outlook right now so I can see for any emails that come in. Philip Paul, hello, hello. And that wasn't an email yet. Let's see what else we got. Alex, hey, thank you. I'm glad to be of help. Henry off of Facebook got a question here. Currently using a one shot for our service at a small church. Should I add a second shot? And if so, should I use wireless HDMI or a long HDMI cord in the ceiling? I would go with a long HDMI cord in the ceiling because if you go with a wireless HDMI, I have not seen one that is under $100. That same fiber optic HDMI cable that I just talked to you about, you're under that 100-foot. If you go to 150-foot, that's $75. You're less. And then it's a solid connection. I would go with that for your second shot, to be quite honest. Philip Paul, for the amp I'm using as a portable setup, should I do a case for it in order for the ports on the ATEM to be fixed? Then the connection will be a short extension for the ATEM Mini Pro. I'm using a portable setup. Should I do a case? I mean, well, that's up to you. That all depends. I personally don't have a case for mine. When I used to have a portable ATEM television studio, I put that in the case because that was pretty big. With the ATEM, I mean, I know a couple of people to use it. I personally don't, just because I put everything in a book bag, and if I had a case, then that would be another item for me to carry. But, I mean, that's up to your discretion. I think either way will work. Everybody's asking about the wireless HDMI. Would you recommend a wireless HDMI adapter for a distance more than 100 feet? I would say no, not for that. Again, there's a reason that you could use it. Like you can use the Hollyland ones. I mean, but you're starting to get really pricey. Because the issue with the wireless, if you get cheap ones, they introduce a lot of latency. So it's not going to be in sync. So when I used the wireless HDMI when I was at Antioch, that was around like $150. That was not to a camera. That was just to hook up somebody's laptop that's doing PowerPoint or Excel to hook it back up into the ATEM. That's what I used that for, not something that I needed to keep somebody in sync with. Those are the cheaper ones. If you're using this camera to be the same as like the camera I'm using right here, this is a direct connection. You're going to introduce latency because of having to convert it to a wireless signal, transmitting it, receiving it, decoding it, then going on. You're adding frames of delay. Now, the higher priced ones starts to speed that up, and it makes it work better. So if you get a cheap $150 one, you will have latency issues, and the audio will not match. If you really, really, really need to do something like that, that's what I was looking at those Hollylands for those. But if you don't need to have it in sync, run a cable. That's just me personally. Chad, hello. Good morning to you. Thomas Saunders. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. AJ, I suspect you only use OBS on Windows. I use it on Linux. I'm curious, though, if you have had any experience using AMD video cards. Are they more difficult to configure than NVIDIA? No. Actually, yes, I have used this. I've set up everything I normally do on a Linux box. I actually have it right here on the floor beside me, and I've ran that. NVIDIA is a pain. Now, granted, I haven't done it in a year. The NVIDIA cards have been a pain. AMDs have been pretty straightforward to get working on Linux, and that's what I did the video of setting up OBS on Linux with a Decklink mini recorder and everything with that. And that will work. So the AMDs are a lot easier for me last time I did that. JP, I am just using Google Voice, and it is linked through. Originally, I had my phone hooked up to Bluetooth to my Rodecaster, but for whatever reason, the audio is not working. Maybe I'll try that again. Let me try this one more time. Give me a half a second, folks, to try this one more time and see if I can add this and we take calls this way. All right, there's my Rodecaster. Yes, I want to pair. All right, so I'm going to do another test real quick. I just want to see if y'all can hear when I call. Hello. All right. So I think we got it. I think we got it. All right. So let's try this again. Hopefully this will work. So we'll try one more time. Y'all go ahead and dial here. I got the Google Voice app and my phone is linked into the Roadcaster. So hopefully this will work this time. If it doesn't, we'll just have to do this on another day. But I think we're good. Um, Brandon, if that was you trying to call, if that was your question, if it wasn't, try and call again. All right. Question is best way to get volunteers: chokehold, chain and whip. Um, nah, honestly, the best way to get volunteers is to find people that want to volunteer. If you have to recruit people, your job is always going to have to recruit them all the time. What I did at Antioch to get more people is I didn't do anything. I developed interest. So I reached out to a lot of kids, and by me doing, okay, let's see, can y'all hear this? Hello, hello, Brandon. I can't hear you. Hold on, hold on. All right, Brandon.
Oh man, hello,
Yeah, I can hear you.
hello.
Can you hear yourself on the call, on the live stream?
Yes.
All righty. So Brandon, I'm gonna ask you this question: what's the best way to get volunteers? And then I'll
Okay.
let you answer. And then I'll let you answer ask your question.
I found the best way to get volunteers just to ask them,
Hmm.
just consistently ask.
Now, have you had any issues with what about do you feel like they get kind of flaky if you have to ask them? Because the reason I say that is if I had to ask them, that meant they didn't want to volunteer in the first place. Because if they wanted to volunteer, they just would.
I agree with that to an extent,
Hmm.
but what I do typically is I'll show them a demo,
Okay.
and then if they're interested, we just go from there.
Okay. I got you. Kind of like tried to do this a while ago. Have like a kind of new members class where they have the different branches of the ministries and they kind of give a little demo to see what you can do. Like I set up a miniature joystick and camera and green screen and let people switch stuff, and they're like, "Ooh, this is fun." I remember doing that before. So, but
Yeah,
with that being
yeah.
said,
It was,
what's your question there, sir?
my question is, how do you deal with church members that don't? I'm trying to think how to word this.
I'm having
Like you
flashbacks to
need them in a
our.
certain spot for a shot,
Mm-hmm.
and they won't stand there.
So I'm thinking paintball gun. Um, well, I mean, I think the whole thing is the issue that I have in doing stuff like this is first off, let me. Oh, I didn't even do this. Let me take a second break for 1 second, Brandon, and I'll answer your question. And this is very pertinent to what I'm getting ready to do. It's somebody's birthday
Okay.
today, and I didn't get a chance to shout them out. So hopefully, we got some folks in here. It's one person in here that I can honestly say that I'm really close to that we're celebrating this birthday. And I want to say a big oorah to the Marine Corps. It is our birthday today. Oorah for any fellow Marines out there. So I'm sorry. So I say that, Brandon, because this is the Marine in me. Do what you're told, but we can't do that with church folk, unfortunately. The idea
Yeah,
is
I agree.
we need to instill in them the importance of why we do what we do. Like, hey, it's not about me just trying to tell you what to do. It's important. This shot is meant for this. It might want to get the reaction of something there, and it brings that in. You have to understand and get people to buy into the vision of why you do what you do. Now, this is the harsh part of me. If they have an issue with following along with that, that's like me reading through the Bible right now from beginning to end. That's kind of like Aaron's sons when God told them to burn a certain type of incense and they ain't do nothing. What God do? To burnt them up. They did the wrong thing, and we can't do
Yeah,
that. But the whole thing is, we need to have this be a well-oiled machine. And if we want to have, first off, if you can't if I can't listen to you and you're in this position of leadership, that shows me that if it makes the turn that you're in leadership, why should anybody else listen to you, listen to me if I'm not even listening to people who's in leadership right now? You know, because again,
Mm,
I don't want to
good
be
point.
I don't want to be the head of the media forever. But if I'm a member and I'm causing confusion, I'm doing my own thing. I'm not going to do this, this, and this. If I'm somebody else as a volunteer, if you're the next up in line to run the media, why would I listen to you when you ain't even listening to them? You know, it's like what they said. It's like the best leaders are the best servants. If you can't even serve right now, how could you be a leader? And I think that me personally, this is the more tactful approach. If people have a problem with that, I'm gonna be like, you know what? What's your calling? You know, I'm getting a feeling that this might not be, you know, your ministry, because we need to be able to work together. And if you want to do your own thing, maybe that's a calling for you to do your own thing, because this ministry, the way it is right now, we can't do that. We can't have a bunch of lone rangers out here.
Yeah, that's legit.
All right. If anybody else has any thoughts on that, put them in the comments. Hey, Brandon, thank you so much for the call, sir.
Uh, Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Take care. God bless.
Yep. Later. All righty. So we're good. So hopefully y'all heard that and everything is good. That. Let's see our next question here. Ebner, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. What are some of the most recommended specs a PC needs to have to run live stream on vMix with one main camera and 3 NDI? Well, when it comes to vMix, it's memory first. If you want to do that, 32 gigs of memory at minimum. Honestly, memory is dirt cheap right now. So let's see. Let's try and put something together here. And we'll just do this. And I'm the wrong picture. There we go. Not the Marine Corps one. So let's just go to, I don't know. I'll just go to New Egg right now. This just happens to be what I'm going to. And what do I have in my shopping cart? Oh, this was a computer I just built for somebody. But anyway, let's start from scratch. I'll keep this case. I'll keep that motherboard too. We don't need. You could actually. I wish I didn't get rid of that. Especially with vMix. vMix will leverage a lot of a GPU more than OBS. OBS will still use it, which is good. vMix uses it a lot more. So what I would do is add. This is actually a 3060. You could probably go with a 3050. It has a hardware encoding in it. The 50 series and higher have that. If you get a 30 series, like a 1030, 2030, 3030, I don't think they have those. But the 3050 and higher, they have hardware encoding. So that will actually help run this. And you can offload a lot of the work that vMix does to the GPU. And if you look at memory, this is just 16 gigs. 16 gigs is $32. So you double that up, you got 32. And I mean, it's $64. I remember when it used to be very, very expensive for memory. But something like this would give you more space for a bigger motherboard. But this GPU, this is a Ryzen 7. You can probably get one. Oh, this is a bundle. This came with the GPU and the motherboard. So I was like, that's expensive just for this. But these specs right here would do you very well. Again, with vMix, you try and get a GPU, a 2050 or even a 1050 if you can get one. They're old, but a 1050, a 2050, a 3050 or higher, a 1650 will work as well too. Any of those and higher will give you the GPU encoding for vMix to leverage. You can throw in 32 gigs of memory for $68. That's a steal. Why not get it at that price? It used to be 16 gigs for $60. So memory is dirt cheap right now. Get a 6 to 8 core or higher processor, and that would be more than enough to run vMix. My system right now, I have a 2070, which y'all are watching right now. That is a Ryzen 9, a 2070, and 32 gigs of memory. That is in the system that's running the live stream that y'all are watching right now. And I got 30 sources on that with 4 NDI. The ATEM, well, 3 ATEMs are connected to that and is handling all of that without any issues at all. D Green. Would ProPresenter be overkill for just showing slides, lyrics, lower thirds, etc. for our online audience only? We haven't installed TVs. No, I wouldn't say it's overkill, especially because you want to do those multiple things. You could go with ProPresenter, or if you were planning on doing TVs later, go with Presenter, and it's free, and that can still do everything that you're doing right now, and it doesn't add any cost, and at least you'll be able to cut your teeth on that whole process, and it wouldn't cost anything. That would be my recommendation. But if you wanted to go with ProPresenter, no, it's not overkill for that. At least it's setting you up for the future. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. You have a correction. Let me see. Have a USB-C that is connected from the ATEM to the Mac. Okay, it should show. What other program do you have? Because when you're using that USB like this, now, I don't know if you noticed, every time I was going from OBS to Zoom, then the ProPresenter, I had to have that program closed, because when you're using the USB out from the ATEM, only one program can use it. So if it's not showing, make sure there's not a Zoom, there's not something else in the background that's still using that video out. That would be the reason, because if it's showing up everywhere, that will probably be the reason why it's not showing up in ProPresenter. Or it could just be ProPresenter crash and you need to open it up, close it, and reopen it. That would be my first suggestion. Let's see. Bob Powell 377 has a suggestion. Best way to get volunteers is through current volunteers. Happy volunteers are the best salespeople for your ministry. I would agree. And JP had the same thing I said. Most likely they don't follow other instructions from other leadership. When you don't learn the lesson, you're going to repeat the same thing over again. Well, what they say, if you don't pass the test keeps happening until you pass it. So if they have an issue with that, it's going to happen. Stephen P. Hi, what is the best version of OBS to use with Windows 11 when you stream using the ATEM Mini Pro? I seem to be having issues since updating Windows 11 recently, and I have to uninstall OBS and install it. Well, there's only one version, the latest version of OBS. Stay on the latest version unless there's issues. Right now, the latest version has been working perfectly fine. And ever since going to Windows 11, you've been having issues. What are the specs of the computer that you're running? Because I don't think it's software. It could be that it's corrupted, but if you said you've uninstalled it and reinstalled it, I don't think it's an OBS issue, and I don't think it's an ATEM issue. What are the specs of the computer that you're actually using that are running that? And maybe we can try and isolate something from there. I'm going to pronounce it this way because it's the Marine Corps birthday. I. Oh, yeah. See, I ain't even going to go. No, I ain't even going into it. Any thoughts about cable management and storage? Well, I'm redoing my stuff here. You can't see it. I actually gave away my rack because the other rack that I was finishing up an install wouldn't be here in time. So I gave mine away, and you still can't see because I'm in the way. So right here, normally there's a rack that holds all this stuff here, but you see my network switch and everything is just leaning up against here. I put this under here. And I'm using a lot of this for my cable management. And just, it's like a 1-inch sleeve that I can put all my cables in there. I've been using that a lot. And it's like 25 feet for like $15 on Amazon. And then I also have cable racks that are up under my desk that I can put in shelves. I can put my wiring there. That's a couple of ways. But I mean, what are you mainly trying to wire? Because again, you want to have access to them. Because I know a lot of people who aren't in here, they're like, oh, I need to clean up my wires. It's a mess right here. I understand the mess, but then at the same time, you kind of want to have easy access to all of the wires just in case. It's one thing to make all this cable management nice like this. Yeah, I had it nice, but I had to disassemble everything just to get to what I need. But, I mean, what are you trying to wire mainly so we can help? Ray F, what's the best way to bring sound to your live stream? Well, that all depends. What's your setup? What are you using? Let me actually do this. This is a soundboard that I got from Amazing Grace World Fellowship. I don't know why I keep struggling. I keep wanting to say amazing word, but hold on one second. All right, so now I can use this. I'm gonna run through this question with you again. Hopefully, we got an image here. Yes, we do. That's camera number 4. All right, so in here, this is an old analog board here, and if we zoom in over here, the best way, and this is how I always do it. So we got, let me punch in here. As you can see, this is an old board. But it's a couple of ways that you can get audio from here. We want to pull audio directly from the system, first off, from your mixer, because you're bringing in all your audio that way. So from here, as you can see in the upper right, we have your main outs. Most likely, those are already being used for the speakers inside your house. You also have those XLRs, and right under it, over to the right, you also have 1/4 inches that will mimic that out. If that's available, you can use that, or you can use the RCA right there under your tape out. That's another way you can bring audio into your live stream, whatever you're connecting to, your ATEM, your computer, whatever. Newer mixers have USB out, and you can just run the USB into your computer. But again, that depends on what sound you're using, what type of board you're using, what type of mics are you using, what type of device you're using to stream. All of those are dependent, but for most time, that's what I use. Now, we could also use a aux send, where that green tape is. You can use one of those out, and that would do a different mix. Then you can make a live stream mix just for that, which is separate from your sound. Mainly, I want to pull all my sound from the mixer, because if you do it like with an iPad or a phone or something like that, you're going to be getting ambiently all the audio that this can pick up, and that's not going to be as clear. You pull it directly from the board, it's going to be like your live stream, as if people put in headphones into the board and they're hearing a clear audio. And hold on, I need to close the door. All right. But give me some more details on, I need some more details on your setup, and we can see. Brandon was saying, he said, you sound gangster. Reverend Richard, hey, good morning. Just to let y'all know again, to throw it up again, if you're interested in calling, go ahead and give that number a call, 804-220-0922, if you want to call in, and we'll answer your question here live. Also, any advice about, well, I already answered that, but about managing and storing cables, XLR cables, etc. Do you have plans for making videos showing how to manage and store cables? I can. It kind of limited on what I have in space here. Plus, since I rent here, I can't do what I really want to do. But what I've done in cable management is a couple of ways. I just get like a hat rack that you can put on the wall, and then I've wound the cables up and hang them on there. That makes it really easy. Most of the time, I wrap them up. Like what I have in my garage right now, I have a bunch of bins that you can get from Lowe's or Home Depot. I wrap them up with Velcro zip ties, and I just toss my stuff in there. Don't just throw them in there. I have them organized so that they don't get tangled up and just a mess of spaghetti, and then it takes you forever to untangle them. That's how I currently use stuff. But if I needed to have something to get quick access to, I would do like a coat rack that I just screw to the wall, and I have them there. You can get a cork board, and kind of you would have it like in a shed or a workshop. You can do stuff as that as well too. When I have more space, I'd love to do something like that. Rhonda, when people ask questions or complain, I invite them to join the Media Minute team to help them make things better. That's the best way. Hey, before you complain, have you volunteered yet? That is a classic. I need to bring that shirt back out for that. D, any recommendations on a good remote management system? Is TeamViewer worth the cost? Do Chrome Remote Desktop. That is what I use for all of my stuff, and it is free. The only downside is you have to put your account on one of the systems, but I mean, as you lock it down, you're fine. So this is mine. So I still have Antioch's computer, so I can still troubleshoot. Epworth, First Union Baptist Church, First Union United Methodist Church, Greater Faith AME Zion Church, their 2 computers, Good Shepherd Baptist Church, both of their computers, my sister's computer, my Mac Mini, my mom's computer, Mount Sinai, New Life Lutheran, RCBC, who is that? Baptist Church, Rose Chapel Baptist Church. I need to change that name. Rising Valley Baptist Church, what I just did down in Gloucester. That's Signs and Wonders Ministries, all 3 of them. My laptop is missing. That is Church, I forgot their name right now, in Queens. That's Chestnut Grove. They haven't been on since 2020. Community Independent Methodist Church, First Baptist Church of South Lynchburg, Grace Free Will, Gilfield, Hood Temple, Pastor Holiday. I knew I had his stuff on there. My laptop, yeah, in all of these. This is what I use for my remote access, and that is Chrome Remote Desktop, and it is completely free. I used to use TeamViewer. I used to use LogMeIn until they got bought out, and then they started having crazy fees for their stuff. Reverend Richard, from a PTZ camera to the ATEM, what other outputs are on the PTZ besides the HDMI one? Our HDMI port went out and just want to run another cable adapter if possible. Depending on that, you could have maybe an SDI out. You could go from SDI out and convert it back to HDMI. I don't recall the cameras that you have on there. That would be typically the other output that you have. You could use that. If you don't have that, and if you're going to an ATEM, honestly, it would be cheaper just to get like one of the AV cans that was on sale that's like for around like $399, $400, just to replace it. And that would give you the SDI out and the HDMI out as well too. That would be an option. Ralph, we're going to buy a new sound video system next year. We'll be able to come to our church and help set up the system. We are in New York. Yep, sure. I am more than willing to. All you got to do is go to ajhomes.com/consultations and book an on-site visit, or you just email me at questions@ajhomes.com. We'll set up the details, and we'll be more than happy to come up there and help you out. Brother Art, Streets of Destiny, hello, hello. Indeed. What email do you have? Answer questions and answers? And if steps are needed, then it would be virtual paid install remotely. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. What email do you have? Answer questions and answers. Maybe I'm missing that. Maybe I'm having a slow day. I don't know who this is that's calling me. This isn't the right number. Hold on 1 second. Hello? Doing good. I think you called the wrong number on this one. I don't have this one linked into the system. Which number? Yes, it is. But I think you called the wrong number. I think this was the one from last week. This actually was going to be shut off here in a little bit. Yep. Hey, I'll flash it up again for you to tile in that one. Alrighty. Yep, you're welcome. All right, let me show that number real quick, folks. That's that number I need y'all to call in on, and we'll get you there. And I'm looking here at my phone to make sure I didn't miss anything. But let's see. Philip Paul. Hey AJ, I have just uploaded 2 pictures of desktop specs for the presentation PC. Mainly will use for 2 outs, one for main out and the other for projector. I'm assuming that was on the Facebook group. Yeah. All right. So his system specs are right here, and I can't get it bigger. Ryzen 5 5600G. Yeah, I mean that's literally the system I build, the exact same specs. So I mean that would be more than enough for that. I would not get this one. This is a A5520 motherboard. No, don't do that. Don't do that one. Do this one, the B550. Because this is literally verbatim what I typically would build. I've used that motherboard, everything. That would be the one that I would recommend for that. Back to Ray F. I have an X32 using XLR out to the Blackmagic constellation, but from the fellowship is different from the live. Yeah, you would. Now, are you okay? So if you're running out to the constellation that has 2 XLR ends, you're running a mix from your X32. You could always make another mix. Now, how is the fellowship hall being fed? Is that connected with another mix out? Do you want it to be the exact same thing? Do you want it to be different? Because at that point, we're just going to make another mix on the X32, and that depends on how you have it connected to run to the fellowship hall. Let me know that, and we can go from there. D also wants to know thoughts on digital signage software. Currently we use Flickr to update announcements wirelessly to all of our smart TVs on campus, but we're running into issues with the program not updating. I personally use Yodec for mine. This is a great one to use. Now, again, it does require a Raspberry Pi. I think they still have them in stock because they sell them as here. You could do all of this stuff. I have a bunch of clients that still use these for over like 7 years, and they've never paid anything because it's only one. Once you have to start using more, that's where you have to start paying with it. So you get your own, it's free, and then it's $8 a month per screen. You know, that's yeah, and they do everything through a web page, and it pushes it to an update, and it's worked perfectly fine without any issues. That's the only experience I've used with them. There's other ones with Unify that I wanted to get into and test out. So where is it at? The integrations. They have like this Connect display, and they also have this display cast, which will turn this into a digital signage. That's $199. That's kind of pricey, but again, it says it can work. I have not used it. I personally want to try it to see how that would work. But those are the options. All right, so we got another call here. Hello. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me bring you. It still is doing this on the wrong number. I'm hearing a popping. Hold on 1 second. I'm getting a popping on here. You still dialed that? It still came in on this other number. On this other phone, that is.
I dialed you as the number you put up. So
Yeah, I don't know if this maybe just, I don't know. Well, anyway, I'm gonna just hold your phone up here to the mic, so hopefully everybody can hear that. So go ahead, Brother Art. What's your question?
All right. So my question is, I have the Behringer X32, the digital one, and I saw there's 3 connections in the back. You kind of explained them in the video, but could you explain them again? There was one that you said don't plug in because it has a different purpose. There's a USB, an Ethernet, and I think there's a third one back there. Could you explain what each one does?
Sure. On the back of the X32, and I'm gonna put your phone down, but I got you. I'm gonna go back here on the screen so we can see everything. And let me go to Behringer's site, and we'll explain everything in the back of there. Let me get to the mixer, and let's just go with the big one. Yeah. All of them, same concept, so not a big deal. So, like, if we go here, let's look at the rear. All right, so if we're looking in the back here of the X32, you have your USB out here in the back. That's how you can bring in audio from your computer or audio out if you're going directly from the X32 to like OBS, vMix, or whatever. You have your control. This is for control. Now, the big one has 2 USBs. This is just for control. So if you're using the X32 Edit app, that's how your program can see the X32. That's what that USB does. It doesn't do audio at all. That is just for a connection to control it. And this Ethernet is just like the Ethernet on your computer. You hook it up to your network. Now, the Ultranet one, this is for sending audio to like the P16s, the personal mixers. So this doesn't send, this sends on a completely different protocol than that. And then your AES50, this is for your, it is an Ethernet, but it has an EtherCon, so it locks in place. It looks like an XLR casing, and it has Ethernet on the end of it. It just locks in here, and that's typically a shielded Ethernet cable to send all the data and communicate between a digital snake, kind of like what I just installed at Amazing Grace World Fellowship. So that's what that was. Those are the difference. This one, the remote control, the USB and the Ethernet gives it network access, and the USB is like you're directly connecting. It's like you're connecting it direct, like a printer, directly to your computer. That's what that one does. The audio one is the one that sends and receives audio. It can't control anything. So when you connect the audio to this, the USB to this one, you'll get audio but not control. This one, you get control but no audio. And then if you connected any one of these to your computer, you ain't going to get nothing.
Right. Okay. The reason I was asking is I'm helping out the church, and they had the blue connection back there. I didn't see where it was actually going, but it's going right up to the front of the church, and apparently that's where they're getting their output from. And I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, that's probably that AES 50, like the snake connection.
Right.
All righty.
Okay. Yeah, and that's not available on the analog, right?
No, on the AES, that's digital to digital.
Okay. All right.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Hey.
I'll be talking to you soon. I'll see you on Zoom next time.
All righty. Thanks. All right, bye. All righty. Good one. Now let's go back to Ray. Ray was saying he has vMix. So, and Wirecast. So both of them should see the X32, just like we just talked about with Brother Art. You could come USB out, and vMix and Wirecast will see either one. If you want to do an analog connection, I would configure, again, one of these outs and make your own different routing specifically for that. So even though I don't have an X32 here, I still got the Edit app, so we can walk through it here. So in here, you would make your own different separate mix for your live stream. So like I have live stream here. You could make another one and just be like, Well, actually, let's use one. So this could be like the fellowship hall. And then this could be, nursery, whatever. Then you also got other ones for, pulpit. And you can make your different mixes for that. And let me change the color because it makes it easier to differentiate all of these. And then now, when I select this, now we can make our separate mix for, we don't want the crowd. Well, no, we want the crowd mic to go to there, but say we don't want we want the USB to go there. But then for the live stream, we don't want it here. For the nursery, we don't want that there. So you can make it that way. But if you're using a vMix, if it's close, I would try the USB. That would give you a cleaner audio out, and then you just pick whichever the mixes that you want, 1 through 8 for that. But more flexibility, that's when you would just make your separate mix for each one of your zones that you're going to do. Because if you have the constellation, you have your fellowship hall, your main sanctuary, and your live stream, that's at least 3 right there that you can just make the X32 support that. And then say you want to route the audio out for that connection that's going to the constellation. Say you want to use outputs 1 and 2, route that mix to outs 1 and 2, and then that's what goes to your live stream. Do the same thing if you have a connection that's going to your fellowship hall, and you can have a separate mix. Let's see. Wayne, what are your thoughts on video walls, and do you think it's too much or an added aspect to sanctuaries that use them? I've just finished installing my 5th one, and I think first off, they've come significantly down in price. I don't think it takes away. I think it actually does, because you can start using those environmentally to add to the storytelling of or adding to the sermon. If you want to do plays, you want to do music, you want to do whatever, it can add a lot to it. And I think for me, do I think it's important? No, it's not. But with the change of the technology of going from projectors to TVs to digital walls and stuff like that, I think it's good. I don't think it's a detraction. I think anything can be a detraction if it's used haphazardly. But again, Abundant Life, we just put one. Good Shepherd, we put 2. Signs and Wonders was the very first one that I did. So they're all happy with them. It's just in the placement and how they used. It's just a tool that can be used to do that. Aaron saying, have you ever used the Church Code website builder? And also, them AVCAN's E20 PTZs are awesome. Yes, they are. And no, I have not used Church Code website builder. No, I have not. Kevin, let me open that up in Facebook so I can actually see that. And where's my screen? Where's it at? That side. Kevin, and you said that was for PoE monitors. Thank you for that, Kevin. Let's see. Ooh, man, that's kind of pricey, but cool. I didn't know about ones that powered monitors over PoE. That's kind of slick. So is that, Kevin, does that only is that sending power and the signal over the cable? Well, let me look on the back. What are the connections? That's PoE in, VGA, HDMI. Okay, so it's just sending power. Can it send the signal as well, too? I think that would be cool. I didn't know about that. Thank you for that. Zozo says, hi, I'm watching from Kenya. A lot of folks from Kenya. Awesome. Thanks a lot for your amazing work. It's just priceless. Hold on 1 second. Okay. This would be me, but I'm actually doing a live stream right now. Can you give me a call back in about 30 minutes? All right. Thank you. Bye. All right. That was actually a business call. So we're going to have to wrap it up here in a little bit. So I'm going to take about 5 more questions, folks, and then we're going to be shutting it down. Thanks for the amazing work. It's priceless. So we have an analog mixer sound Craft GB4, and I'm using a Behringer 8020 sound card to get audio into the mixer. I'm using an Ableton to mix to stream, and I'm getting video from the Hollyland Mars 300 and getting them into OBS. But I have latency a lot. How do I solve that? And the band is not satisfied with the mix. So it sounds like now with everything going on to OBS, if it's saying you're getting a lot of latency, what are the specs on your computer? Because I don't think it's the hardware, like the Hollyland and all that other stuff. I don't think it's that. I think it might be the latency being introduced because of the computer. Let me know the specs on that. Where do I get my digital walls from? LEDNationUSA.com. That's who I've been using for all the digital walls that I have been installing. Great folks there. I will put the link down there below. But that is who I have been using. They ship out really fast, and they got all this stuff in stock. So really cool folks there. 2 more, and then we're going to be shutting it down. TJB 1060. What are the price ranges of the walls you have installed? They've ranged from $7,000 up to $36,000. It all depends on the amount of screens that you want and the size. So if we come back over here, now again, these prices have changed. So some of these, let me go to Turnkey Solutions for Churches. These are, and I hate they do that video that always pops up like that. So this one actually used to be a little bit cheaper. This was a 9.45 by 6.4. This is the one I did at Signs and Wonders. I'm mixing these two up. I think this one, a version of this, it was an 11 by 7. Something that's the one I've done in Abundant Life. And then it was a mixture of in between these, a little bit smaller. It was like, these are, I think like 2 of these are what I installed at Good Shepherd. So this is just this. This does not, actually, I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong ones. It was in these. This is the one, because I was saying the price was different. This is the one that was, no. Yeah, this is the one. It was the 9 by 6. This is the one. 9.8 by 6 by 6. 2 of these is what was installed at Good Shepherd. And this one is a variant of the one that I installed at Abundant Life. But again, this does not include the shipping, because they ship it on a trailer. They put it on a pallet. The pallet is like 500 to 1,000 pounds, and they just drop it and they leave it there. They don't bring it inside the church or nothing like that. They leave it there, and you got to unpack and everything like that. So those are the prices. I have not done anything bigger than 27 panels. I haven't done anything bigger than that to date. Last 2. Philip Paul wants to know, regarding the presentation PC, if I say I have the choice of upgrading the specs, what would I upgrade? The graphics card to have more outputs. Get a 3050 or a 3060, that'll give you 4 outputs. 1 for the main, 3 more outputs if need be. And then you can always add memory, because the memory is cheap. Like I said, you can go 32 for less than $70. Elkin. Hey, AJ, I'm trying to input my Blue Yeti Mini to my Finney audio mixer to input into Zoom. And any thoughts on how the Elgato 860X is used to help with streaming to 2 flat screens? The the Elgato won't help with streaming to that. The Elgato is going to be input only, so it's a capture card, so it's going to take video in. It's not going to support anything out. If you want to get out, this would be the same way where you add another graphics card that can push out another display, and you just connect that monitor like with one of these fiber optic HDMI cables, and it'll just be like a big monitor. That would be the suggestion for you. And I think that's about it, folks. What I got to do, because I got a call that I got to take here. I want to appreciate and thank you so much for y'all stopping by here. Let me go ahead and shout out some. Hold on. Let's see where we's at. I normally would get a pop-up if we had some more subs so far. But just remember, folks, we are going to be doing this giveaway. This is my way of saying thank you for all of the support. You know, again, me being transparent, I'd love to get to the point where, you know, we're making $5, $10, $20, $100,000 a month from YouTube. We're not there yet. I love to do that because I'm of the person of being in church my entire life. I just want to use what I'm doing right now. It's a time of not just talking about what we can do. This is my attempt in doing something about it. So I would love to have $100,000 a month, and then I can actually put action to the things of doing. Right now, I'm just sharing as much as I can. When the income comes in, hey, I'd love to be able to go out and bless and help and transform so much stuff. We're not at that point yet, but I'm thankful for where we're at right now, and use what you got. That's what I always recommend to y'all. That's what I do. We're not at the hundreds of thousands yet. We are getting there, but we want to do what we can. And there's a bunch of people who've helped me over the years, and I want to give a big shout out to my Patreon supporters. You can also be a Patreon supporter by going to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO. You can get started for as low as $1 a month. But no matter which way you pick, folks, you are helping us. Or if you're not a big fan of Patreon, you can click the join button down below and become a YouTube member. What we do is give access to different things, discounts, all this other stuff. No matter which one you're a part of, I actually enter you in twice for all of our giveaways. Again, I told everybody else you can only enter once. But any supporters, I enter your name twice as a way of saying thank you. I get discounts, upload videos that don't have ads. We got to get more into that as well, too. But that's a way of me to give thanks back to y'all, because a lot of people have supported me for over the years, and I really appreciate that. And just want to say thank you for all of that. And outside of that, thank you for everything that you're doing at your ministry. I'm not a part of your ministry. I might not even be in the country. I've never been to Africa. I haven't been to Kenya. I haven't been to any of those places. We're trying to expand to go there. But what you do is important. If you were not doing what you're doing, your ministry and the body of Christ would be missing something, because you were designed for exactly what you're doing. And I want to thank you for that, because you are helping to reach other people. I can't do it. It's not my role, my responsibility to reach everybody on the face of the planet. It is for us. And I want to, hopefully what I do here and the videos that I do, the installs I do, all the stuff that we do, hopefully it makes your journey a lot easier. And that's what my assignment is right now, is to help and empower y'all as best as I possibly can with the little information that I do know. Hopefully I will empower you and encourage you to keep doing it, because all the struggles that you're going through, all of us, this community, have gone through it too. And hopefully you can lean on us and we encourage you. And all I ask is, when somebody needs your help, the same help that you got, render it back to them. And that's how we do it. That's how we reach more people, folks. So I hope y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you is. And we'll be catching y'all. If you're on the Zoom, all that information is on Facebook to join that on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. But if not, we'll be seeing y'all later, folks. Y'all have a great one. Love y'all, and we'll talk to y'all later.